Hey, buddy, it's Thanksgiving. What are you most thankful for?
I will only be thankful once you've met your demise. You have caused me great dishonor for the last time. This injustice will not stand any longer. I will be your greatest fear, and you will be my greatest
adversary, but will reign over our battle.
What? Welcome back, everybody, to another Coffee Games video. Wow, it's been a while. It's been like a week since we've done this. You know, the new sets and all that, we moved the studio around, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit boring or a little bit echoey, but we're getting to it. Hey, I don't want to hear any sass from you. Hey. You know how I feel about sass. But I wanted to take some time. This upload is coming up on Thanksgiving, so I just wanted to take a little bit and just have a fun little video about 3 games I'm most thankful for, and I want you to write your games that you're most thankful for. It doesn't have to be 3, doesn't even have to be 2. Could be 1, could be 10, could be 27. I don't really care. Write down some games that you're thankful for. But before we get started with my first game, hi, how you doing? You doing good? Wow, I'm so thankful for you. Welcome to the Games Groceries channel. If you like good video game discussions, this is the place to be. So definitely hit that subscribe button and a notification bell so that you know when all these videos come out, as well as our weekly podcast. The Games Groceries podcast, so that you know when all these videos come out. We would love to have you join our community here, but with all that said and done, I want to jump into my first game here. This game kind of came out in a formative year of my life, and I'm really thankful that I had this in my life. So this might be basic, and if you've listened to the podcast before, you're not surprised, but let's get into the first game. Halo 2 came out when I was 13 years old, and if have you been 13 before? That sucks, man. At 13 years old, I just desperately wanted to fit in somewhere. It was just a weird transition of life where you're not a kid anymore, but you're not really a teenager at that point, and you're just trying to find out who you really are. And at 13, Halo 2 came out. And I grew up in a very conservative family, so I didn't think I was going to get it. And lo and behold, I got it from my grandmother on Christmas Day. And it was just one of the best things that could ever happen to me, because all of my friends, I wasn't really friends with them at the time, were talking about Halo 2. It was just the bee's knees, if you will. But it just really gave me something to really connect to. And I think Halo 2 was the first game that I actually truly cared about. I've always played video games before on the NES and, of course, the N64 at my friend's house. But Halo 2 was really the first game that I actually truly cared about and actually formed friendships over. At the time, I was actually going with my mom to a singles moms group because, my dad wasn't around. Cool. But, she took me to a single moms group, and all of their sons, all the other mom's sons came around. So while they were talking about their feelings, as teenage boys, we weren't talking about feelings. We were just decimating each other with rocket launchers. I'm talking to you, Kieran. He didn't use the rocket launcher. He used a sniper rifle. Whatever. But point is that Halo 2 really built friendships within that we could actually connect through Halo 2. I brought my Xbox over. I got the controllers ready. And that's just what we did. We didn't talk about feelings. We just played Halo 2, and that's just how we got to know each other as 13-year-olds. And it was the first game that I actually cared about the story. I really wanted to dive deep into the lore. I wanted to speed run the game on legendary mode, of course, not on the easy mode. I totally sped run the game on legendary mode. I'm a hardcore gamer, but my point is that Halo 2 came at a time where I really needed it. It was an awkward stage of my life. I was being taken to a single moms group, and I was trying to get to know some other kids. And 13, it's just a crappy year. It really is. You don't know who you really are, and you're just desperately trying to find somewhere to fit in. And Halo 2 came out in a time where I really needed it. So I'm very thankful for Halo 2, especially. And of course, Halo 3 and not 5, but Halo 2 especially was a really good foundation in my formative years and my first love of video games, my true passion into video games. So I'm really glad that it exists. I'm very thankful for it. But with that said, speaking about building friendships and thankful that a game exists for a purpose, that jumps into my second game, which is a multiplayer game. I didn't play it when it first came out, but it came at a time where I really needed it. So I didn't play The Division at launch. Thank God. I think I can't remember the year it came out, honestly, but when I started playing it was the end of 2016. Actually going into 2017, actually. Now that I think about it, it was 2017. I had just lost my dream youth ministry job and they let me go, or my term was up. It was a weird situation, but they let me go 1 week before Christmas. And it was my dream youth ministry job. This is where I wanted to work. I loved the kids there. And it was a week before Christmas. So I felt like I let my wife down. We had just gotten married. And I was just in this hole of depression where I just didn't really have any distractions. I just kept thinking about what had happened. Now, this isn't a sob story at all, but it is a context of why Division meant so much to me. So going into 2017 and January, February, where seasonal depression was really starting to kick in, and I was just trying to figure out what had happened before. I was working a security job at night, so every day I had a schedule of waking up, working out, and then applying to 20 to 30 jobs at a time and just trying to figure out what's my next step. And then I would just have this emptiness of nothing until my job started and Liz got home, my wife, and I just had nothing to fill that in with. And I was talking with my friend who I did my first YouTube channel with. I will link it right up here if you want to check out dumb little skits with that. But I was talking to him about what had happened, and he said, why don't we pick up The Division? And so we bought it together, and it honestly was the best thing for me, because every day he would text me like, can you get on Division? Can you get on Division? Because he was also unemployed at the time. So we were kind of helping each other out. And The Division was the perfect game for us because, one, it gave us goals and missions every day because we were just in this kind of funk of what do we do? And it just gave us a mission to do, a goal to do. But not only that, I think The Division just provided so many laughs because there's so many bugs in Division. But at 2017, the bugs were endearing rather than game crashing. But I'm very thankful for The Division existing, especially in 2017, because it gave me and Frank something to do every day. And we would text each other like, can we get on Division? Can we play today? Can we do this? And then we got the DLCs and we played through that. And it just gave us time to talk with each other, as well as just doing funny missions or doing goals or teamwork effort and saying, oh, you need to upgrade this and this. And it was a very teamwork based thing, but it wasn't against other people. It was just me and my buddy Frank just going through the world of Division. And I think that just really helped me cope with what was going on at the time and just really gave me somebody to connect to, because Liz was at work, so I couldn't really talk to her too much, but it gave me something to connect with at the time. So I'm very thankful that Division came out when it did and was patched when it was, so that 2017 it was a better game for it. But I'm very thankful for The Division coming out when it did. And that brings me to my final game, and I want to include my wife in this, who's not here. She's at work. This is my day off. But my third game is actually something we built this channel off of, a game that's, my wife first got into video games with, and something that I really deeply connected with that came out around the same time as Division did. So let's just go into that. The final game that I'm most thankful for. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you're not surprised that Life is Strange was included in games I'm most thankful for. It was a game that actually Liz, my wife, who's also part of the Games Groceries podcast, this was the first game that she really connected with. She was playing Sims, of course, and some other games that she didn't really click with, but Life is Strange was the very first game that me and Liz could really talk about video games with, and was one of those mediators, I guess. Is that the right word? But it was one of those, Venn diagrams. Where's Adam and where's Liz? Life is Strange is right in the middle there. And it was a game that I really connected with my wife over. And we talked about the choices and what's the right move and where does the story go. In fact, if you look in the channel's backlog, me and Liz actually did a whole Life is Strange in chronological order playthrough on the channel. It's in the playlist. It's on the channel. It's on the playlist. Or I'll just link the playlist right up here if you want to check it out. But me and Liz just played through all of Life is Strange in chronological order, but the very first game was what we really connected over. And not only that, but the Life is Strange community really made me feel at home. I started to really connect with the people who were fans of this game rather than just enjoying the game of itself. This was probably the first community of people that I really felt at home with and felt comfortable with. And I'm very thankful that Don't Nod took the risk to actually develop a game like Life is Strange. Because understand this, Life is Strange came out at a time where The Witcher 3 came out. So putting a game like this out at a time like that was a huge risk. We even talked to Dayan Hutton about it on the Games Groceries podcast. We even talked to her about it and how much she didn't know it would become a huge thing. But I'm very thankful that Life is Strange exists because it gave me learning opportunities as well to understand other people's stories and other people's struggles. But the game also really gave me learning opportunities of different lifestyles and just different life paths as well, including Max and Chloe. Max and Chloe were different life paths, and we get to learn what their struggles are as human beings. But I'm very thankful for Life is Strange, not only for the game, but for the community. I'm thankful that it's telling stories that's, no other game that I can think of really took, and it really started to spark a new renaissance of game stories where we can tell true stories, we can tell true struggles in video games. And Life is Strange took that path, and now we're on a great, I'll say it again, a great renaissance of feels train games. I don't know, emotional storytelling, but I'm very thankful that Life is Strange exists. So that's kind of a quick video for you, a quick coffee games video for you. Just, wanted to put something out for Thanksgiving and just say 3 games I'm most thankful for. But again, I want to reroute it back to you. What are some games that you're most thankful for? Write your comments down below. It could be just a list. It could be reasons why you're thankful for it. It could be just one video game that you're most thankful for. And I know talking about how we're thankful for a video game kind of seems, I don't know, childish? I don't know. It feels kind of weird. Like, I'm thankful for a video game, but it's true. Video games tell stories. Video games connect us with people. Video games rise us up in dark times. And it's okay to be thankful for a video game to exist, even as a 29-year-old. Oh, I'm almost in the grave. Get the wheelchair ready because I'm going right to the retirement home. Hey. My God, that was weird. But really, just think about what games are you most thankful for? And I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like. It really helps out the channel a lot. Tells YouTube, they're like, hey, people like this channel. Cool. But also share it with a friend or your family or even your enemies. Share it with your enemies, people. They deserve this video as well. I don't know. And like I said, we kind of move sets here, so give us some time. Hopefully next week's coffee games, it's a little bit more
Less boring.
just give us time. We just moved the set around, so thanks for sticking around in this one. But until next week, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Spend some time with your loved ones. Play some video games. Just go. If you can't see your family members, if they got online gaming, play some games with your loved ones. Connect with them in that way. Play The Division. Not The Division 2. I thought that game was boring. That's just my opinion. But happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay safe out there. And please, wear your mask. Ugh.